the flexibility component, we're going to work with a prone Y and a T-spine opener on a roller. Starting with the prone Y. We're going to be face down. I'm going to have my arm in a Y position. So this would be a T, straight up to the side, Y about 45 degrees. Now this might be a little bit advanced for some. So others may wind up back at a T, but I'm going to start here to show you what we're at. Now in this position, I'm going to go head on for you so you can see something from the front here. In this position, I want to make sure the shoulder's not lifted off the ground. I want to make sure that the shoulder is rotated and in contact with the ground at this 45 degree. From here, I can have the other hand at my side as a little assistance, and I'm going to press the shoulder into the floor, and I'm going to turn my body, opening up to the other side, which will open up the shoulder. Opening up as far as it's comfortable. I can start with some rocking back and forth movement. And if I want to add a little bit more to it, I can actually bring this foot in behind, reaching back. Start with warm-up reps, 5 reps on each side. And once I feel like I want to start getting into the strengthening part of the flexibility work, I can hold my position. And then from there, I'm going to engage my whole body. I'm going to press my hands, my bicep, my shoulder into the floor on this side, the side that's being open, gently pushing into the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to relax and see if I can open up just slightly more. Pausing at this position now, just like with all the other flexibility work, I'm going to make sure I'm breathing and relaxing. With this movement, we're not going to get as aggressive. When we contract, we're only going to go 50 to 70%, not 100. We're not going to push into that floor at 100%. We want to go easy on this initially and make sure that everything's feeling good there. I'm going to start engaging everything in my body again and pressing to the floor through my hands, my bicep, my shoulder. 2, 3, still breathing while I'm contracting. 4, 5, and then relax, open up slightly more. For those of you a little bit more advanced, you can add an element to it where you're opening up the other side as well and reaching back towards the other hand. Coming back down nice and gently. Now, you'll notice that the position of my hand relative to my body was still over my head. If I bring this down to a T, it's going to make it easier for you. So if you're having a lot of difficulty up here, you can go to the side here, and the rest will remain the same. But in this position, you'll see that my arm isn't as elevated relative to my shoulder. It's more down. But that's okay. It's a good starting position. You can go through the same thing where you do 5 gentle reps, making sure you're breathing as you go. And then once you've done 5, you can pause, relax, use this hand to hold yourself in place, breathe, engage, and press into the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax into it a little bit further. So exactly the same. You can work with different positions now. You want to make sure that you don't go any lower than the T position. And with the overhead position, no more than 45. If you were to go up too high, you would basically just roll over. So do make sure that your arm is up overhead enough that you get that opening, but not so much that you miss it entirely. For the second flexibility element, we're going to work with a roller and a PVC to open up the thoracic spine. Okay. From here, we want to work with somewhere between just below the shoulder blades to just above or in line with the top of the shoulder blade. We don't want to be doing this on our neck at all, and we don't want to be doing it in the lumbar spine. So find first one position where basically at the base of your shoulder blades, you get your back against the roller. And I'm going to start without a PVC. So from here, I can have my hands crossed. My head won't be cranked, in neutral. And I'm going to bring my hips up to the ceiling at first. And then I want to allow my shoulders to roll back towards the floor. Now, for those of you with neck issues, you might find this a little strenuous on your neck. You can have the hands behind to support. Or if you're in that stretch and you want to use something to help support your head, you have a yoga block in behind you that you'll be making contact with. Again, setting myself up, shoulders below, just above the roller, coming back. I can find that yoga block and have my head on it so I'm not straightening my neck. From there, I will keep that position, but I will start to lower my hips towards the floor. And this will start to open up the thoracic even more. As I exhale. And from there again, you can warm up by doing a few reps, lifting, lowering, and once I'm in position, I keep the hips down and just keep that open. Now if I want to add a little bit more opening to it, I can have the arms straight overhead, and I can reach back. This will open up the rib cage as well. Reaching back towards the wall behind me as I breathe. Strengthening component, there are a couple of things that we can do. I'll address that later in another video series. But we can grasp something that's behind us and we can hold on to it and squeeze. Now without that, I'm just going to squeeze my upper body, I'm going to squeeze my lower body, and now I'm contracting my whole body while in this position. And then relax. When I come back up, I'm gently roll off and sit back up again. The PVC will also help in that I can have this will promote using straight arms, but you can also use something with a little bit of weight to it. So with some PVCs I have basically stuffed them full of sand. I put a piece of duct tape on one end, fill it with sand, duct tape on the other end, and now I've got something that weighs 3-4 pounds that has a little bit of load to it. So as I go, I can start to bring my hands in closer and closer, but I'm getting in the same position here. I'm going to get my hips up, shoulder blades up, just on the roller, start to arch back, lower the hips, and now I'm trying to push the PVC away from me while keeping it up off the floor. And then when I want to strengthen, now I engage and pull the PVC apart. So now I'm really creating an element of contraction, an isometric contraction. So I'm pulling that PVC apart as I'm in this position. And when I relax, I can let the shoulders open up a little bit more, and thoracic open up a little bit more, and then I can bring this back, and roll back up again if you need to. You can assist the overflow. Now, the position of the roller can change slightly, so you can target a little bit differently. So instead of just in line with the bottom of the shoulder blade, I might move that roller up higher. You get in the middle, or a little higher, you get at the top, but all else remains the same. Hips up off the floor, back. Guys. Goes back, reach, and then lower the hips. So as you can see, the contact point is a little higher on the shoulders. So opening up a little higher area of the thoracic spine. So you can work up and down there a little bit on each round, change the position. You can go through 3 rounds of this as well with the prone lie and the T-spine on the roller. And hopefully that opens up the spine and the shoulders nicely and offsets what we do all day at a computer, which I'm sure a lot of you are doing these days. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do check back for other videos in this series. There will be 2 more, and have a good day.